First of all, we started with the introduction. We had a 63-year-old and 61-year-old couple. The 63-year-old male had passed away suddenly, and basically she's in a tailspin wondering what to do and came approach us. Again, this was not a previous client. They came to us. She had watched the show for years, and we find this out quite a bit. People say, well, I've watched the show a long time, and I say, well, what brought you in today? And it's things like this. Maybe they are being downsized. Maybe they've decided to retire. They lost a loved one. A lot of things can precipitate the need for someone like us, and we were certainly grateful that this young lady allowed us to help her. So again, she's got several questions: whether to pay off debt, when to take Social Security, what to do about health insurance and qualify for the government subsidies, especially between 61 and 65, and basically just how to live out her life worry-free with someone in her corner so she wouldn't feel like she was going it alone. So let's walk over to the actual recommendations. And we have to kind of compartmentalize all of the income. So we know that Social Security will eventually be part of her income. Right now, we're going to delay that for several years, okay, and draw on his Social Security. She's not going to have any Social Security, whereas before, if both of them had been living, he would draw Social Security. If he waited to full retirement and she waited to her full retirement age, she could draw one half of his. Now that's not a possibility. She's going to have to live on his Social Security. Rather than taking a decrease in that amount, we're going to let that grow. We don't need the money right now anyway. We've got that 401k, okay? Again, we might take a little bit of money out of that. In fact, at Tony Walker Financial, we find ourselves doing this more and more. Our tax department, which, by the way, we don't do your taxes. What we're trying to do is do tax planning. So you'll still need someone to prepare your taxes. But what our tax department can do is can come in here, look at how much money we can take out of this. Remember, any money we roll over to us from this 401k and put into our split IRA concept will be taxable. Well, why is that important, Tony? Because if we're trying to get a subsidy from the government for health insurance, they're going to limit that subsidy if we pull out all of this taxable income. So our offices will calculate how much reasonably we can take out of that tax-infested IRA and not affect the subsidy. All right, they have savings, okay. The good thing is, let's see, what was that? That was about $30,000. We don't even need to touch that right now. This is going to be her emergency fund. We're going to leave that alone. She didn't want to spend any of that. And you say, well, how can she do all this, Tony? She got all this debt she's wanting to pay for. How's she going to pull this off? That's where the life insurance comes in. And remember, life insurance, this is why, depending on your age and assuming you can qualify for it, you want to really consider life insurance. It's very much undersold and underappreciated, but in retirement planning, if you have life insurance, you're going to see it makes retirement planning so easy. This is why yours truly, I have a lot of whole life insurance on myself because I want to make sure that my family gets tax-free proceeds, that I can have access to the money, plus it allows me to spend and enjoy my money without the fear of running out, and that's where the annuities come in. So again, depending on your age and whether you're insurable and can get it, you're going to see in a minute, this $500,000 of life insurance allowed her to do things that normally she wouldn't have been able to do financially. So what are we going to do with that? We're going to knock out the $200,000 house payment. We'll subtract that from there. We're going to knock out the car payment, subtract that from there. We're going to knock out the credit card, subtract that from there. Still leaves her, what is that, about another $270,000. And remember, this is all tax-free money, folks. So think about this. From a cash flow perspective, again, retirement planning is not about trying to grow your money and invest it and find the latest, greatest deal to make 20%. It's all about managing your cash flow, which is what a trained retirement specialist such as Tony Walker Financial is trying to do. We're not trying to grow all your money at all costs. We're trying to get this money in a safe position, keep your costs down so that you can use and enjoy this money. So then we came over, so she's got that. So think about this. Her house payment was around $1,800 a month. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Her car payment was about $500 a month. And she was putting about $500 a month before her husband's death on this credit card. So if you add that up from a cash flow standpoint, what is that, $2,800 money? Yeah, that's $2,800 a month plus that we have in our pocket, meaning we don't have to use as much money to come up with all this extra money just to make all these payments. And again, back to the subsidy effectively damaging what we're trying to do there. And then finally, what we did, we took that 401k, and again, we split that out in our split IRA concept. with that wonderful Charles Schwab platform at only 0.8%. And then we put her on the back end of that 401k, now that IRA, some of our beloved
mailbox money.
So now what we have is a plan. We have a safe plan. We don't have a lot of risk in this plan. She knows what her cash flow needs are. She still has plenty of cash available. We'll invest that if we want to, but for now, we're just telling her to kind of sit tight, get used to dealing with the grief associated with losing a spouse, and you leave the worry of the money up to us. That's what we're really good at, and we can help you.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips, and be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.